let's go ahead and get into the fun stuff. Y'all know I'm childish these days, and because I made a mishap a week ago when I talked about the Miami sweeps, I have to now continue this thing, and we're going to talk about the Denver sweeps, and that's what they will be known to me until they actually win another series. So let's go ahead and talk about that game four and the weirdest ejection I've probably ever seen in a meaningful basketball game.
Soft. I don't know how you can describe it as anymore, right? John Morant tweeted that out. Um, I mean, he hit all ball, like literally he hit all ball. The
He
dude
also smacked
just
paint.
to be in the way to where it was like a scrape across the nose, face area. It wasn't even like the flagrant two. They talk about like the wind up, but I think the intent has to go along with it because he hit all ball. The intent obviously wasn't him in the face. The face just literally just happened to be in the way, uh, but like barely. Like it wasn't even like a full like runner test James Harden moment. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's levels to this. It was a flagrant one for sure. Um, but I think it's just we're in the process of the overcorrection, right? Like the last couple years, people are, the flagrant twos haven't always been what would be like what should have been deemed a flagrant two.
Yeah.
But I think in the next couple years moving forward, especially with this, it's gonna help be a catalyst to kind of put it in the middle, right? A medium of what a flagrant two should actually be and what actually warrants a rejection, especially for a guy who won MVP that exact same season. So
Yeah. Yeah. Like he got it that day too. Or like the day before.
Game before, I
It's
think.
like his fingerprints not even dry on it. Like that's crazy.
yeah, I mean, I'm just like maybe they threw him out because they thought it might have been on purpose because he was frustrated, and you can kind of see that in like his body language that he was frustrated, but still, it was a soft call. Like, yeah, flagrant one at most, but like flagrant two, like nah, like you're doing too much. Like, if that's a flagrant two, then any wind up to the ball because NBA players have a strong grip on the ball. That's Cameron Payne. But how do you expect to hit the ball out of a guy like LeBron James's hands, or a guy like Joel Embiid's hands, or some of these incredibly stronger athletes? You're gonna have to wind up and swing. So if you make contact with any other part of the body, it's gonna be a freaking two. Like it's a slippery slope to start it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna make a correction for years upcoming.
All right. So how do you think the scuffle that happened afterwards made them elevate that a little higher? Because they still didn't do much with, the whole tough guy, our chests are bumping up against each other. Like I like I'm not sure because we heard Reggie Miller say, oh, I'm pretty sure there's a flagrant one. Everybody at home was like, okay, there's gonna be a flagrant one just based off the fact that you can't kick the best player out of a like game four. Like it's clearly a closing thing. Like they didn't have a chance of winning it further. But like that is that is a moment where it feels like an overstep from the referees, where like you decided that game right then and there. Like they were already down by double digits, but you definitely decided that game right there. That there was no coming back.
I mean, yeah, more than likely the reaction of the teams on the court had some kind of effect on the decision making of the refs. Uh, but at the end of the day, that all leads to the exact same point of that's just bad refereeing.
Yeah.
Like if it didn't have any impact on it and they threw them out, that's bad refereeing. If they allowed that to impact the decision, that's still bad refereeing. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, no matter how you look at it, the refs made an awful decision. The refs made a bad call, and it might just be simple as that.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. Like all the street ball in me tells me, like you let them play, even if they throw hands, it's like let that man fight for his food, bro.
I mean, yeah, but you don't have millions of dollars on the backs of street ball. There's a reason why Amway mixtapes aren't around anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's it's a business. And was it a bad business move? Absolutely. Why? MVP. Once again, the refs made a bad choice because it makes no logical sense of why they would throw this man out of the game. He is the first center to win MVP since Shaquille O'Neal. The revolution of the big man's back is what people have been saying. Let that man stay in the game. Figure one, free throws. Karen Payne didn't lose an eye. We all good. Let's keep on pushing, keep on moving. They still would have lost. It is what it is. Jokic could have talked at a press conference afterwards. Yeah, I have to do all that.
This might be in poor taste, but if you're Jokic, are you crying?
What do you mean crying? Like
after you get ejected, are you crying?
I think Jokic's been crying for the last 3 games.
What'd you say?
He's been crying for the last 3 games. They've been getting knocked around like like the Phoenix Suns Debo or something like that. Like they've been getting knocked around for the last 3 games. So if he just start crying now, he should have started a long time ago because they've been getting smacked. It's been a butt whooping to the highest degree. Is he crying? Nah, because he probably has some kind of bonus for the MVP. So he wiping his tears away with cash. I don't know. I would be.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's the only benefit from it. Because if you care about winning, I know that hurt. Every last minute of that hurt. Like you gotta feel like you let your team down a little bit, right?
As soon as Murray went down, though, they knew they didn't have a chance to win a championship. But I guess like they didn't have to go out like that, though. But once again, the Phoenix Suns are rolling on all cylinders. Like you couldn't do nothing about that. And I can probably guarantee you, after game 1, every single person on that team came to the realization, if not game 1, probably game 2, that we are out of our league with this team. This team is doing a lot of stuff that we can't do nothing about. So, they're intelligent people, right? They're in the league. They're intelligent. To make it to the league, to make it to the basketball, to make it to the NBA, you have to be an intelligent player, right? And you've been through all levels. You've seen everything under the sun. They had to have known this. Like, it's just it. Chris Paul's turned to this point god that we can't do nothing about.
Turned into.
People are calling him.
Just a quick rebuttal on needing to be a smart player. JaVale McGee, he's gotten better.
Wildly talented. We can't.
But not a smart player early in his career.
That's all I wanted to say. Yeah. Oh wait.
That's all I wanted to say.
I guess intelligent to like a degree, right? Because JaVale McGee's probably intelligent in terms of basketball in comparison. Like if the context was like, everybody who's ever played basketball, right? Including all the people who are watching the games, so on and so forth. But like in terms of the league, he's probably lower bar, right? He's probably like under average, if not average, in terms of like basketball intellect, IQ, whatever. But, every NBA player has, their moments, right? Every NBA player has their JR moment, right? But most of them are like, just average, like, okay, we understand what we're playing against. We understand what this is. We understand if we can win. We understand if we can lose. That's pretty a basic concept. I'm not talking about like schemes, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But I'm assuming, because if you were a smart basketball fan, you knew it was a wrap after game 2, for sure. Game 1, you had an idea, like maybe they'll make some adjustments. After they made the adjustments in game 2 and they still got smacked, you knew. You know what I mean? So I'm assuming they had the same thought process, and they came to the realization pretty quickly. If they didn't, yikes.
Right. Uh, I feel like we've talked about this one enough. To close this out, all I have to say about Denver is you realize who the dogs on that team was after you realize who the dogs on that team were after Jokic left, because Will Barton and Michael Porter Jr. were the only two that seemed like they had some fight left. Like everybody else kind of like shrunk up a little bit, like more than they already had for that series. But like y'all saw what I said about Eric Gordon in the group chat.
Yeah.
I also put out the tweet that was like, I see why it took so long to get him out of Orlando. I get it now.
Once again, Calvin McGowan, hope you enjoyed yourself. If you are watching on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, leave something in the comments. You can also listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You made it this far, once again, thank you. I hope you got a lot done of whatever it was you were working on while listening to this. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.